There's a lot of fast-moving pieces in Haiti that we want to bring you up to date on. Russian oil tankers arriving in Haiti, U.S. Air Force aircraft arriving in Haiti, violence unfolding at the fuel terminal, which of course is at the center of why the United States is planning to intervene in Haiti and put boots on the ground there. For all of that and more, we want to go to Port-au-Prince now, live with Dan Cohen, who is joining us from Port-au-Prince with a number of updates this afternoon. Dan, good to see you. So I think we should probably start with the violence that you've been seeing this afternoon at the fuel terminal. Can you tell us what you're seeing in the police and the G9 fighting back and forth?
Yeah, so the battle is ongoing for the Varot gas terminal, where Haiti gets roughly 70% of its fuel for about 8 weeks. The FRG9, the Revolutionary Forces of the G9 Family and Allies, its acronym FRG9, led by Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, has maintained a blockade on the fuel terminal. But on Thursday morning, police actually seized control. They overcame the blockade, took it over. But the FRG9 they've told us that they have encircled the fuel terminal, and they are intent on not allowing any of that fuel out. Even if that fuel gets out, I've seen at least 20 other blockades throughout the nearby area, throughout the poor neighborhoods. So it's hard to see how any of those fuel trucks would go anywhere throughout Port-au-Prince without, police carrying out some major acts of violence against the population.
You've been speaking with Jimmy Cherizier, who is, of course, the opposition leader there. What has he told you about the police breaking through these barricades? They don't plan to release this fuel. What are the updates from his side?
Well, just that they're they're intent on not allowing any of it out. They don't see it as yesterday was obviously a setback for them, but it's the battle is ongoing, and they're gonna continue to fight back, and they're not giving up. So he has a very determined message, and we just have to kind of watch to see how this unfolds. There's a lot to be seen.
Now, a couple of interesting things this afternoon. Of course, you're seeing Russian fuel tankers. Can you tell us about that? At the same time, you're also seeing American Air Force aircraft there. So quite polar opposites, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a whole kind of geopolitical nexus here in Haiti. So at the airport, about, I think, a week ago, American supply airplanes landed and have been bringing fuel to the American embassy. Also, the U.S. delivered armored vehicles, and Canada delivered armored vehicles to the Haitian National Police, which is what allowed them to basically break through the FRG9's blockade and take it over. And at the same time, just out in the bay to my right now, there is a fuel tanker at a port just a little bit south, about 1.5 miles south of the Varot terminal, that is a Russian boat that came from Venezuela. So it's very clear that Venezuela and Russia are supplying fuel to keep Haiti going, while the U.S. is, wants to use military intervention to achieve its goals. So kind of total opposite approaches here.
You also took to the streets and spoke to the people. Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I managed to get out and just talk to people on the street about what they think about this apparently imminent U.S. intervention. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Nous-mêmes en tant que jeunes, nous avons dit non avec l'occupation américaine.
Blanc, pas de droit, puis les sols là. Là, ils viennent là, ils viennent exploiter toute richesse nous. Par exemple, l'or nous, uranium nous, pétrole nous, bauxite nous,
qui ont été ministres, qui ont été minières, qui ont été mini-jeep. Ils fait nabi.
Après ça, ils ont détruit la production nationale là. Ils ont quitté maladie.
Américain, c'est le porteur dans le pays nous. Américain là qui est plus de monde sans papa.
Maman Américain a dit que choléra, c'est eux même qui portent choléra pour nous en bas fatra, en bas saleté.
Ça fait 3 fois. Pour occupation nous prend, pays a pas jamais offert nous rien.
Ils entrent dans le pays là. Ils ont tué Jovenel.
Si Américain pas compris dans complice assassinat Jovenel Moïse, faut Américain est entré en Haïti pour arrêter les gens qui ont été criminels.
L'Occident même, c'est un malheur pour Haïti. Ça même. Projet bourgeois prostitué qui tire l'État. Je veux dire là, nous pas l'État haïtien parce que l'État nous gagne là, son l'État anti-peuple, son l'État qui peut travailler au profit du peuple haïtien, son l'État qui travaille pour l'Occident, qui travaille pour les États-Unis.
Nous disons, je dis là, maintenant de chaque population, commencer à acheter manchette nous, commencer à acheter poudre. Parce que nous allons battre en face américain.
Abat américain, abat ambassade Canada, abat ambassade de France.
Fuck you, America.
Dan, did that surprise you? I mean, it doesn't sound like they're happy to have American intervention.
Yeah, not at all surprising. I mean, if anybody who's, spent any time in Haiti or knows anything about the history or the politics or the culture of Haiti knows that they're very sensitive, very opposed to foreign intervention. And if you look at what's happened in previous U.S. and UN interventions, it's been absolutely catastrophic for the population. So, it's confirming, what is very clear: total opposition to U.S. intervention.
Of course, the fuel being a big issue, keeping hospitals running. We know that in a lot of countries, obviously throughout Africa, of course, without fuel, hospitals can't perform major and very important surgeries, and even just routine surgeries. You went to the hospital this afternoon. What did you see when you were at the local hospitals in Haiti?
So the main hospital here in Port-au-Prince, I managed to visit and spoke to the director of the hospital, and we asked her about this crisis, this fuel crisis, and how it's affecting the hospital's ability to perform and serve the population. Because the United States has said that Jimmy Cherizier and the FRG-9's blockade has created this humanitarian catastrophe. But the director of the hospital told us that there are fuel shortages, though they actually date back to August, before this fuel price hike was imposed, and of course before the blockade was imposed. So the State Department's claim that Jimmy Cherizier and the FRG-9 are responsible for some humanitarian catastrophe is just totally false. There are shortages, but the hospital is able to still run, and that's the way it's been for months. So it predates any of the ongoing battle right now. So it's total kind of debunking of State Department interventionist propaganda. So if you can see in the background right here, I think right there, that is the Russian tanker. It's called the Penelope. We actually tracked it online, showing that it had come from Venezuela and is now unloading fuel here. So the idea that there's this humanitarian crisis caused by Jimmy Cherizier is a total canard, because not only is the hospital running, but they're actually having fuel unload. And even further in the background, right about here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's another tanker. I couldn't see the markings to track it, but at least at 2 out of the 3 ports in Port-au-Prince, there is fuel being unloaded.
I want to quickly go back before we let you go on the military, the armored vehicles that the United States military and Canada have been supplying to the police there. Are they being operated by Americans, or are they being operated by the Haitian police?
I haven't seen any American boots on the ground or anything like that here. So as far as I know, they're operated by Haitian National Police. And the U.S. and Canada have long supplied armored vehicles to the Haitian National Police. It's not the first time that they've been delivered, but apparently these new ones, gave them the firepower to overcome the blockade. So as far as I know, no American boots on the ground yet, though, of course, there is some kind of American military presence, at least at the airport. And there is the Coast Guard, which sounds sort of benign, but is a military department of military wing of the Department of Homeland Security, and they have cutters hanging off of the shore. So they're totally primed for intervention.
All right, Dan Cohen reporting for us for Redacted from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. We appreciate you bringing this update for us, and we will continue to bring you these stories from this incredibly important region. Dan, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Clayton.